Hey everybody, QG here. Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2 could very much be right around the corner within a week or two or maybe a month. We don't know for sure, but I'm positive that it's coming this year. And so, as far as I'm concerned, we are on the road to Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2. So, in commemorating that road, I think it's appropriate time for me to give you guys my Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2 wish list. So, we'll start off with stages. However, I don't actually have any particular ideas for stages. I think a Nick Jr. one would be cool. Obviously, stages from new franchises. Maybe like a Rocket Power stage instead of including a character. Maybe just like a stage for them. The main thing I wanted to bring up here, though, is a hazard toggle. I know Smash Ultimate did this, but I think Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2 would definitely benefit from it. There's a couple stages that I think would absolutely be competitive viable if they could have their hazards removed, namely Ghost Zone and the Dump. I think those would be great stages to play on competitively and have really good music, but, you know, the hazards are just too intrusive right now. But I feel like a hazard toggle could easily fix that in those two regards. Ghost Zone, you just get rid of the giant ball structure things near the top of the stage. In the Dump, you just not have items like fall and stuff and that type of deal. Next up is items. I only have like 3 particular ideas for these. The first one would be Purple Flurp from Jimmy Neutron. It'd kind of be similar to the curry from Smash, where you drink it and then you like burp excessively, and it's like an active thing even while you're fighting. So like a passive active thing, I think is the right phrase. The next item would be a wand from Fairly Odd Parents. I think it'd be cool if it just acted as turning the opponent into something. Maybe it's like maybe like a washing machine or just a goat or something completely random, you know, that type of deal. I think it'd be cool to have an item like that. And then the last item I wanted to bring up is the Nickelodeon Blimp, which would basically function pretty similarly to April's Up Special currently. It just allow you to float around for a little while. I think it'd be cool to have that. There's definitely been some debate on whether there should be like assist trophy type items and that type of deal where you summon other characters to do attacks for you. I'm not gonna say what I think of that necessarily. It's not a matter of I don't have an opinion so much as I'm not positive what item you'd go with, and I don't really have a list of characters that I think would make for good assists, really. Next up is modes. Sports mode is kind of neat. I do like it, but I do think it should have a couple of its own dedicated stages to really work. And to really drive it home, you could make them themed around Nickelodeon game shows as well. So, you know, like Double Dare or Legends of the Hidden Temple or Guts, you know, those type of competition shows that they used to have on Nickelodeon. I think it'd be really cool to theme them around that. In Slap City, they actually have target test type mode, which basically, you know, if you've ever played Smash, it's like target tests. You get a set amount of targets you have to take out in a set amount of time. Smash 64 and Smash Melee had unique target test modes, which essentially means every character had their own unique target test to complete, which was kind of built around their character. I think it would be cool if Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2 brought this idea back. Slap City, again, already has a target test mode, so I think that's at least inevitable to some degree. But I think it'd be really cool if we also had, like, unique target test modes. A unique one for each character. Maybe even, like, a set of them. Who knows? And the last mode I can think of specifically would be Nick Rewind, which functionally would just be Smash Bros. All-Star. You just fight through the characters in the order that their shows aired. Maybe have a couple gimmicks or different ideas thrown in there. I'm not positive we're going to get a story mode or that type of deal. It would be cool. If we do get one, I would prefer something in the vein of like Slap City, where it's like an overworld map and you go to location, once you get to a location, you kind of get from point A to point B, going through enemies and stuff, with like dialogue in between levels, interacting with characters and that type of thing. That's about what I would most want out of a adventure mode or story mode type deal. Kind of more mobile game-esque, I guess, in that regard. So now onto the miscellaneous wish list stuff I really want. I've got a long list here for this stuff. So first off, challenges or achievements. More than anything, Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2 needs unlockable stuff. It needs unlockable stuff to incentivize players to keep playing beyond just getting good. Because unfortunately for a lot of people, they were looking into Nickelodeon All Star Brawl in the first place as a casual game, but the way the game is designed and the fact that it didn't have items, voice acting, and the like, and unlockables, substantial unlockables at launch, kind of just led to people not really jiving with it in a lot of ways and feeling like they had to be good at the game to really, you know, keep playing it. And that's a shame, but that's why I think there should be a challenges or achievement type system for this game to incentivize players to keep playing without focusing on, you know, being the best player in the world, because that is something that can add a lot of pressure when playing a game, I feel. So, yeah, I think challenges and achievements and that type of thing would be a great incentivization for players. We kind of have that now, where after you complete arcade mode, you get a couple pictures and then like an online mode profile picture, and if you unlock certain achievements, you also get those, and like that's fine, but it's not ideal. Like I don't think that's really the way it should have been handled. Maybe like you get like unlock an animation cell for each member of the cast, or additional character renders, or maybe you even unlock modes this way, such as the previously mentioned Break the Targets, or Nick Rewind, or Maps for Sports mode, or maybe just stages in general. Like, just lock stages, especially the casual ones. Like, you could absolutely do that. Obviously, the competitive legal ones and the characters all need to be unlocked from the start, because that's how the devs wanted to go about doing the characters and such. But I think you could totally make casual stages unlockable. I don't see an issue with that. Next up I've got is mechanics. So, this is in regards to like character and fighting game mechanics. I'm not an avid fighting game player, so I don't feel like speaking too confidently on this, but I do have one idea, which is essentially just sort of borrowing the meter system from Injustice 2, where it's got, or I guess this is more similar to like Contest of Champions type games, where it has 3 levels to it. In this game's case, if you use the first level, you would perform a perfect block automatically with no requirement of input. If you use 2 levels, you use a burst attack, akin to like Zetterburn's neutral special from Rivals of Ether, just sort of as like a get off me move. And then if you use all 3 levels, you'd activate what I like to call Slime Time, which would essentially be a character's cinematic super move. I'll probably make my own separate video talking about what I think each character's, you know, cinematic super move would actually be. But yeah, I think that would be a really cool mechanic, is just having some super final attack. And of course, you know, you would want an on and off switch for this, just in case competitive players don't really jive with the meter at all. Let's see, unique victory themes. This feels like a given, but yeah, Nickelodeon All Star Brawl, the first game, when you finish a match, it's just the same theme every time and the same dialogue every time, and it can get a little repetitive, especially since it feels like they're not super mixed well audio-wise. I think it would be much, much cooler if each character had, like, their own unique victory theme, kind of like how Smash does it, or, you know, at least, or even Multiverses does that, I think. So, like, it doesn't have to be straight from the show. Just something unique or reminiscent of it, at least. Maybe like a cover or a recreation or something like that. Of something, some iconic tune from the show for each character or each franchise of characters. Not every character needs a unique one. Just, you know, maybe like if they're from the same franchise, they can share one or something like that. From there, I think we also need a unique opening movie. Nickelodeon All Star Brawl does open very quickly past loading, and I do like that. Like on startup, I think it loads very quickly. But I don't think that's enough. I think it would be really cool if Nickelodeon All Star Brawl just had its own cinematic opening movie. Kind of visually similar to how the initial trailers were in the cinematic portions of them. I think that would be cool. This should go without saying, but more alternate costumes, and definitely make some of those unlockable too. Most of them if you have to. Like, there's most of the characters in Nickelodeon All Star Brawl could absolutely get a couple or even a bunch of alternate costumes, even if they still have to stick to the mandate of like, the alternate costumes can only be canon alternate costumes. Like, that was a rule apparently when they were making the game. But even then, I feel like that is something that should be implemented even further or added upon here. I think it would be awesome if every character had like a set of alternate costumes instead of just one. More taunts per character. So they did actually amend this a little bit. Some characters got more than one taunt as the first game's development went on, but I think every character should have 2, maybe 3 taunts of their own to reference stuff and just make them feel more lively than they already are. More music track options for each stage. I really, really like Nickelodeon All Star Brawl soundtrack, but only being able to play one song on each stage is a little saddening. So I think it would be cool if the music count, generally got upped, but then you could also play, music from like Jellyfish Fields. I think it'd be cool if you could play any SpongeBob track music on that stage. I think that would be cool. Of course, a lot of the tracks that they've made in NAS were very stage specific in theming, but I still think it could really work. As far as Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2 goes, I think it should also launch with everything Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 1 had content-wise. For 2 to really, really hit it off with the general audience, I think it has to make the first game absolutely inferior. Like, if Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2 makes it absolutely pointless to play the first game anymore, I think that's a job well done. And of course, we also have to launch with functional crossplay. We cannot go a second game without crossplay for a game that's on like 5 platforms. It seems they got it working in the first game. It just never went live, apparently. So here's to hoping that they got it working really well now and are going to properly introduce it and implement it in 2. Maybe with an enhanced online system. I don't think the online system we have is bad, but I do think it could use some refinements. Maybe, I don't know, just additional features or things to do in it, potentially. And of course, I already mentioned this earlier, but unique character interactions are also like a must. I know Nickelodeon's mandate was that for whatever reason, characters in this crossover game couldn't actually interact in any substantial way, in that everything they said had to be like from the shows, which is so bizarre. But I'm hoping that maybe they found a way to, convince Nickelodeon to actually let the characters interact this time, just for once. Kart Racers 3, it seemed let some characters interact with others just across their own series, not other characters. I think it'd be cool if NAS 2 was able to finally break that cycle for Game Mill Nicktoons games. And finally, I've got a long list of characters I want in this game. I'm just going to read through them all, rapid fire, no real explanation behind them. These are just a long list of characters that I personally really, really want, ignoring any sort of likelihood or anything like that. So, in no particular order, Jimmy Neutron, Vlad Plasmius, Raphael, Donatello, Squidward, Timmy Turner, El Tigre, Angry Beavers, Otis, Mr. Krabs, Plankton, Carl, Sheen, Denzel Crocker, Ember McLean, Fanboy and Chum Chum, Miko, Bessie, Blue, Professor Membrane, Kablam Duo, Henry and June, Pig, Dora, Vendetta, Gurr, Vicky, Charlotte, Parker, Boog, Jenica, Snotty Boy, Chip Skylark, Fred, Larry the Lobster, Kyle, Nermal, Luna Loud, Luann Loud, Waffle Woman, Mrs. Puff, and Rango. And that is it for my Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2 wish list. Let me know down in the comments below what you guys want to see most out of this game. Not just characters, but, you know, music, stages, modes, additional bells and whistles, all that kind of thing. Let me know what you guys want in the comments. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content like this. Like I said, comment down below. And be sure to stay tuned for the next one. Till then, peace.